Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. It is Thursday, and dude, the AI news cycle is just not slowing down. I am Taylor, and I am so ready to dive into today's updates.
And I am Morgan. As always, I am here to figure out what is actual signal and what is just noise. We have some interesting updates today, right?
Oh, totally. We are talking new OpenAI agent tools, robotic brains from Google, open source security drama, and your job security. Let's get into it. Okay, so first up, I saw on TechCrunch that OpenAI just updated its Agents SDK. They are really pushing to help enterprises build safer and more capable agents.
Wait, another update to the agent toolkit? I feel like agentic AI is the buzzword of the year. But what does this actually mean for businesses?
Right. So it is basically a massive expansion of their toolkit. It makes it way easier for developers to string together complex tasks without the AI just hallucinating or breaking down.
That is the dream, right? But the safer part is what catches my eye. Enterprise adoption usually stalls because companies are terrified these autonomous agents will leak sensitive data.
Exactly, dude. That is exactly why OpenAI is adding all these guardrails. They want companies to trust these agents to actually execute workflows, not just chat.
I will believe it when I see a Fortune 500 company actually let an agent run their payroll autonomously. But giving developers better tools is definitely a step forward.
Haha. Fair point. But honestly, the demo videos were so cool. You can see the agents handing off tasks to each other like a little digital assembly line.
A digital assembly line sounds efficient, but also like a debugging nightmare if one agent makes a mistake. We will have to see how it performs in the wild.
Yeah, debugging could be tough. But OpenAI is really trying to own the enterprise space here. If they nail this, building an AI workforce becomes as easy as writing a basic script.
That is a big if. The gap between a controlled demo and a messy corporate environment is huge. Still, it is a clear signal of where OpenAI is placing its bets.
Moving on to something even wilder. Google DeepMind just released Gemini Robotics-ER 1.6. It is basically a cognitive brain for physical robots operating in the real world.
Okay, now that is genuinely interesting. Software agents are one thing, but embodied AI? Actually putting these models into machines that move around our physical space is incredibly hard.
Dude, it is so hard. But according to MarkTech Post, this new model specializes in visual and spatial understanding. It can even read physical instruments and detect if a task was successful.
Instrument reading is a huge deal. Imagine a robot in a chemical plant that can actually look at an analog gauge, read the pressure, and reason about what to do next.
Yes, exactly. It acts as the high-level reasoning model. So instead of just pre-programmed movements, the robot looks at its environment, plans a task, and adjusts if something gets in the way.
I wonder about the latency, though. If a robot is using a massive multimodal model to process a live video feed and make decisions, it cannot afford a 3-second delay.
Oh, totally. But DeepMind has been optimizing the heck out of these models. The fact that it is version 1.6 shows they are iterating fast. The spatial awareness stuff is just mind-blowing to me.
It is definitely a leap from vacuuming the floor to actually understanding the context of a room. I am curious to see which robotics hardware partners end up integrating this first.
Right? Like, hook this up to a Boston Dynamics robot, and we are officially living in a sci-fi movie. It is happening so fast.
Let's just hope the success detection feature works perfectly before we give them anything dangerous to hold. But yes, physical AI is definitely the next major frontier.
Okay, so this next story is a bit of a bummer, but super important. I saw on ZDNet that a company called Khalil is abandoning its open source model because of AI.
Wait, really? Open source has been the backbone of so much software development. Why exactly is AI forcing them to close their code?
So the CEO said keeping their code open was like handing out the blueprint to a bank vault. Hackers are using AI to instantly scan open source code and find vulnerabilities.
Ah, that makes total sense. AI is incredibly good at pattern recognition. A malicious actor could use an LLM to comb through a massive GitHub repo and spot exploits in seconds.
Exactly. And Cal just could not cope with the sheer volume of AI assisted hacking attempts. So they're moving their flagship program to a proprietary, closed source model to protect themselves.
This is a fascinating unintended consequence of the AI boom. We always talk about AI helping developers write code faster, but it also helps hackers break code faster.
Dude, it is so scary. Like, if you are a small open source team, how do you even defend against an army of AI bots probing your code 24/7? You kind of can't.
You really cannot. It shifts the balance of power. I have to wonder if this is a start of a larger trend. Will other major open source projects be forced to close their doors too?
I really hope not, because open source is like the heart of the tech community. But if security becomes literally impossible to manage, what other choice do they have?
It is a tough situation. It might force the open source community to develop their own AI-driven defensive tools just to level the playing field against the attackers.
All right, let's wrap up with something that affects literally everyone listening. ZDetNet reported on a new MIT study about AI taking over our jobs. But, spoiler alert, it is not happening tomorrow.
Well, that is a relief. The panic around AI replacing human workers overnight has been exhausting. What is the actual timeline MIT is predicting here?
So, the researchers say AI might be, quote, minimally sufficient at certain work tasks by 2029. So, we have about 5 years to figure out how to adjust and adapt.
Minimally sufficient is a very specific academic phrase. It basically means the AI can do the bare minimum of a task, but probably not the nuanced, high-level strategy work.
Right, like it can write the rough draft of a report or sort data, but you still need a human to make sure it doesn't sound like a robot, you know?
Exactly. The report advises workers to use this buffer time to upskill. If you learn how to manage and direct the AI now, you become the supervisor rather than the one being replaced.
Dude, yes, it is all about becoming an AI manager. The experts are saying do not panic, but also do not ignore it. Start playing around with these tools today.
That is incredibly grounded advice. The timeline of 2029 for minimally sufficient capability shows that rolling out enterprise AI is slow, expensive, and complicated. It is not an overnight flip.
Totally. So, everyone listening, take a deep breath. Your job is safe for now. Just make sure you are the one learning how to use the new tech.
A little healthy preparation goes a long way. It is much better to ride the wave of a new technology than to let it crash over you.
Well said, Morgan. That is a great thought to end on for today's episode. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We will keep tracking the signal through all the noise.
All right, that is it for today. We will be back tomorrow with more AI news.